everybody, today is gonna be a time-lapse video. I intend to do this over several months or maybe a year or two, I don't know. It's gonna be about privet and about cuttings and about fusion. So how to make a decent little bonsai tree in a couple of years. Starting with cuttings. So first of all, you need a whole lot of privet cuttings, and then you of course need to remove some of the lowest leaves. You can do that with scissors. Some people like to rip it off. I don't like that because you often damage the bark. Privet is an interesting little plant to work with. I know not everyone likes it, but I think it's really interesting and very cheap material. So you also need to cut a piece of the top, and then you will have a fork forming, or you can leave it as this and then it will continue growing straight. So if you do that, you can do that whenever you want. Cuttings are really easy with privets. So I did that last winter, and this is the result. You have a whole lot of nice little growing privet plants with the weeds, of course, that you should remove now and then, because otherwise they take over your whole plant. And then another thing that I did, and I have to repeat that now, some of these nice big cuttings, I just cut them here because I wanted to have some side branches, not to have them completely straight, but I need a little more. Why? Well, this will be obvious in the coming part of this video. So I'm going to cut back at different heights some of these trees. So this one has already a nice fork. I want that a little more. Here the same, but I'm going to take it to another height like this. So now you see I have that, and maybe just two more. You see I have two nice buds here, nice buds. So I'll remove this, and now, well, here I remove this, and that's all I'm gonna do. Now the fun thing is, with everything that I've removed, I can start a new project, which I will probably do, but of course, but that of course is just sticking these sticks in a pot with soil, and it's going to work. So back in a couple of months, I think, and yeah, well, we'll see. So it's the end of September now, and I think it is time to start this instant bonsai fusion project with privets. So as you might see here, the tree was growing in this pot, but then I put that pot in a bigger pot. So the first thing that I need to do is get rid of all these little roots that are now sticking out of the bottom of this pot, which is something that I really do a lot. It gives the trees a little more room to grow, and every month I just lift these things and I cut back these roots. And what it does, well, it is a root pruning, and the roots that are not sticking through the pot are taking over, are getting stronger, and the strongest ones, the ones that are through the pot, are now reduced, and of course that balances the roots. So I will now take these little trees out of the pot, and we'll start assembling a hopefully interesting little tree. So let's go. I'm not gonna bother you too long with getting all this stuff out of the pot. As you see, there's a lot of roots, there's a lot of everything. So first thing that I need to do is, of course, get all these cuttings out of this pot, and then I'll wash the roots to have a clear view on what's going on, and then we just start the assembly. So as you see, it's a well draining substrate that I used with some organic stuff. Always nice to have a little bit of organic when you do cuttings, because, well, it feeds the trees and makes them strong, well growing. So these are, I think, 1 year old now, a little more maybe. And like I said, it's extremely cheap because, well, they come from my hedge, and yeah. I'm realizing right now that I have no idea what I was talking about 10 minutes ago, because for me these 10 minutes are 2 months ago, so I don't remember what you heard just now, but okay, doesn't matter. So let's get this done. I'm going to get all the cuttings out of this pot, wash the roots, and I'll be right back. Okay, so here they are. Few quite weak. This is not bad. Well, I must say, generally I'm very happy. Obviously, some of these high roots will not be used, so they can be removed. Probably have to cut some, but what I can remove this way is a whole lot easier. Now, I don't want to use all these trees because, you know, well, flexibility, well, it's there just up to a certain point. So this is already quite thick, and the really thick ones, I'm going to keep them aside. Maybe try to make something different with them, like a little forest, which is always nice to have. So if I can use, let's say, 5 trees for this fusion project, that's gonna be plenty. So I think that's good. That's a good one. Going to remove some of the roots just here. This is already a tree that was designed to become a side branch, obviously. And if it doesn't become a side branch in the future, it will be a piece that, when it fuses, will add to the taper. So I also like this one. So I think if I use 5 or 7 maybe, that's going to be really okay. So that's 3. Four. And that's 5. Yep. Maybe one a little taller. 6. And let me think, not too thick, but long. Okay, 7. Now you see, I don't have to remove all these roots up the trunk. You can, but it's not really necessary. as long as the base of your trees are at the same plane, it's going to be okay. So I'm going to grab a piece of raffia now. So I grabbed a little piece of wire to hold this all together, but I don't need that. Now I want my tree to be on a slant. So of course you need to put your roots on a slant then. A little bit like that. That's good. Just wiggle, it will work. And now I'm going to put my piece of raffia here. And make sure that everything is nicely tight. Now this raffia will disappear very shortly. But by doing that, I'm establishing the root plane. You see, I set a slant, so a little knot. Always seems that I'm making knots on my videos. Well, that's when you really try to do things with your trees instead of letting shit grow and then cutting everything back until there's nothing left. Like so. So will all these roots survive? Of course not. Like that. And now we need to give this thing a little shape and start to make branches. So a few pieces of wire will help us. So let's get some wire. Now if you already have seen some of my almost instant bonsai trees, you know what's going to happen. I'm just going to put some wire around this base here, so rather thick wire, and then I'm going to leave out, of course, this tree which is supposed to be a back branch. Then I have a little back branch here. That was the purpose of the previous part of this video, is to make a little more back branching, side branching possible. I'm gonna keep this one in, but this one I'm gonna keep out, like so. Then next twist, not too tight, it's not necessary at this moment, so I'll get this one out. And then, what do I have here? I'll get this one out. Here. This one out. Like so. And then this, and now the wire is a little too thick for what I'm trying to do here, but okay, I'm just going to continue. And then this, well, that's already too long. I should just cut it back. I don't know, up to here is gonna be okay. So I don't need that. Let's remove this part. That's fine. Okay, so now of course you want all your branches on the exterior of a bend, and now you have a very straight tree. So this is a branch on the exterior, so your bend's going to be right here. Secure the wire here a little better. Okay, like so. I have a branch here now, so the bend's gonna be here. And of course, when you do one bend, you're always ruining the previous one, so then this one, that's okay. I'm going to add a few more bends. This is very long, so let's reduce that. And maybe a final one here. That's also very long. Okay, so that's what the tree would look like. I think it's nice. Don't need this. This is a little long. This is long. This is long. Let me see. I'm going to add a little piece of wire for this side branch. Sorry, wrong side. Like so. Get this one here. And with this piece I'm going to make a flat part so that I open up this portion. That's good. I have a small branch here. I don't think I'm going to need this. No. We'll get back budding anyway. So, yeah, that's good. That's good. So I'm going to plant this in a nice little bonsai. So I'm going to position the tree, well, this side of the pot is a little better. I'm going to position the tree here on a little hill that I made. Push the roots down and then give it that little slant that I wanted and just press it down like so, and that's really all you need to do. It's not very firm in the pot, but I'll position some rocks on it. And now this thing needs a little watering. And so this is a little guy. It's a little newborn fusion privet. And of course, well, yeah, it's not fused yet because, well, it's going to take a year at least before everything starts to grow. And then before it starts to bite in, I am now trying a new technique that I think is quite okay, meaning I'm taking extremely fine galvanized iron wire, and in the beginning of spring I'm just going to tighten everything quite hard and then remove the aluminum wire. Now this very fine iron galvanized wire I will never remove. I will let that grow into the trees. The trees will swallow the wire, and well, yeah, then it's over. Then everything stays where it's supposed to stay, and yeah, you will retain this shape. Yes, so no more big scarring then. Now, I know that some people are quite skeptic about what I'm doing with these trees, with these fusion projects, and some people even said that they had to see the first result of all my strange behavior. So let me give a quick peek on a project that I started last year. So this is one of the root over rocks Japanese maples that I planted together. They're very close to each other now, and as you see, this is one of these little pieces of iron wire that I was talking about. I just added that a couple of months ago, and you see it's already starting to disappear into the tree. This was wired with thick wire, and that's why I don't want to do that anymore. You see I have quite a big scar here and here and here. Well, of course it's going to disappear, but one thing that is very important to watch now is that you see these were one, two, I think 5 trees. Well, they fused. It's done. They're fused. It's over. This is one tree now. So I'm just waiting to have the bottom part fusing, and this is what you get with 2 or 3 year old trees that you put together and let grow for 1 year. So I think that this is going to be absolutely great in another year or 2, because, well, I just have to let these grow. They will fuse automatically because they cannot go another way than expanding here, and I can already start working on all the side branches, start working on the division, the shape of the crown, etc., etc. It's full of little buds, and the roots are going to expand as well. So now it's still full of moss. Yeah, it's just a question of looking at this as a regular tree, and nature will do the rest. It's going to fuse, it's going to get bigger, and all the scars will slowly disappear. So yeah, if you don't think that it works, well, sorry, you're just wrong. It works. So this concludes the start of this little project, and I hope that I was rather clear about the success of this technique. You don't need to buy expensive material, you don't need to do crazy things, you just need to have a few good cuttings, a few good seedlings. I have a whole pot of Carpinus trees that are now 30-40 centimeters in height. I also intend to do a bundle fusion. This is bundle fusion, there's no inner core whatsoever. I also intend to do a big oak fusion with a inner core, but I'm not sure that I need to film this, except if someone wants to see it, please let me know, and then I'll film it, because you know it's always difficult to film things. Not that the editing takes a lot of time, well, it does a little bit, but it's also with the cables and the microphones, and then you forget something, and then it's always very time consuming. So if no one is interested, I'm not going to film it, but if someone wants to see it, well, just let me know, I'll try to do something. So that's it for today. Hope you liked it. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.